Good afternoon, and today we have a very special guest, Nerissa Boggan, who came all the way from California. She's actually in New York right now when we do this recording. Good afternoon, Nerissa.
Good afternoon. Thank you,
And
Dr. Sokolina.
and thank you to our audience. If you have trouble sleeping or if your kids have a trouble sleeping, this program is gonna be for you. Or your kids are your snoring partner. So this program is going to be for you, not partner in that way, but you see how kids are struggling, sleep and breathe in the same time. And if you're a medical professional who, just like us, trying to put all the little puzzles of sleep apnea, disease of evolution together and find the way to help our patients, today is a perfect program for you because Nerissa wrote the book and you can see the cover on a screen, and it's right here in a real life, how to help kids to breathe through the nose. And this is a really foundation for me who see the sleep apnea adults and kids all day long. I see how nose breathing is a foundation of a sleep health. So today we're going to talk in details about that. And if you like this program, please share with your friends because this is a great book to educate the future generation in a very playful way. How to unblock the nose, how important is to breathe with the nose, how important is to have a dog or cat in the house, and we're going to talk about why. Please share and put the like. We would really appreciate that. Now the story about Nerissa. Nerissa, she is a dental hygienist who also have a master degree in public health. And she's very passionate about spreading the word about oral health and proper breathing and sleep among her practice and among the people who she touched through social media or her work. She participated in a lot of programs, and I met her at American Academy of Physiologic Medicine and Dentistry, or AOSH. We had that conference, and I was very impressed how passionate she is about her work. She was helping another organization to spread the message. And then I learned about this book, and I thought, wow, she's the first book author who write for kids. We interview a lot of authors who write about sleep, breathing, health, nutrition, but actually this is the first message for kids. And she's trying to spread her wisdom through playful rhymes and wisdom. So tell us, what inspired you to write this very colorful book?
First of all, Dr. Kalina, thank you so much for inviting me for highlighting this book. What inspired me the most, because of my public health, the love of public health, I found out in my myofunctional practice, kids don't know how to blow their noses. And also, learning about this work, it can be very expensive. So in the community of myself, people of color, they have no access to the treatment, and we know how it could be compounding cost. So I say, I need to write a book that starts with a nose, and I believe this is the first of its kind that highlights and is a very fun rhyming book that initiate conversation with your children how nose is so important. And we now know in our work that nose, proper function, breathing through nose, help guide the development of healthy airway. So that is my number one motivation, is health equity. I want everybody to have access to the empowering message of breathing through the nose, because I know health equity could only be achieved if everyone have access to the information, opportunity, right, and treatment.
That's true. What can be better than a book?
Yes, and in the book, it highlights also for parents a fun way how to unblock the nose.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is, and you could see I have other people that have actually send me a picture of their children, because in the back of the book has the picture of Myo. So
Yes.
Myo is a real dog. If you notice the book cover, yes, he's my empty nest dog. The book cover is inspired by the area in my local area, which is Lafayette, California. And you notice in my background,
Yes.
that's the water tower.
That's a beautiful, like we're matching. I hope our listeners appreciate the elegance of that. So let's, I admire how you reinvent yourself, from dental hygienist, public health, myofunctional therapist, and so passionate about your work, now as an author. But let's talk about practical health. So many children, and then they become adults, they
Yes.
struggle with a nasal congestion. And people get so used to that, blocking the nose, what they come to me and say, I can breathe with my nose, but I'm a mouth breather. They carry it proud as a badge. And I usually ask them, if I have a magic wand, what can I do to change that perception? What tips you can give for parents to help unblock the children's nose naturally?
First of all, is this one thing when I get referral on children for mouth breathing, right? And you could literally see across the table in an exam, the parents of the patient are also mouth breathers. One thing I know, I always do this. And the quote, I forgot, I think it was James Baldwin that says, children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they never failed to imitate them. So
That's amazing.
Right. So start with the parents. So I tell my parents first, you also need to make sure you're breathing through the nose. And if you're trying to teach the children, your kids, to unblock the nose, start with you. They imitate you. So practice nice nasal hygiene at night, a routine. You brush and floss with your children. Hygiene matters. Nasal hygiene matters. So you do oral hygiene, you do nasal hygiene. So do it first. They will follow you. They imitate you. That's number one. Second, make it fun. Make this activity fun for kids. Okay? And be consistent. I love the unblocking the nose. First of all, you have to understand what kind of congestion do you get, because common cold is a congestion or allergies. So those are the two things that you have to understand. So if you have trying to do the unblocking the nose, very good tip is the unblocking the nose first. Okay, so you go inhale, exhale, pop your head. Some of the kids, yep. So you inhale, exhale, and then breathe gently back through the nose. If you have a real congestion, I would suggest to use some nasal spray. My favorite one for myself is Clear.
Mm-hmm. With
And this is
xylitol,
not
right?
just for children, it's also for adult, because, Dr. Kalina, if I'm traveling, you're trapped in the airplane, you're trapped in the hotel room, nasal congestion is going to come. So nasal hygiene is so crucial, part of your routine.
Yes.
So that's my number one tip for parents.
Mm. And can you talk a little bit more how to clean the nose? I also have two boys, and I personally love nail mat bottle. Nail mat bottle is my everything. It's my toothbrush, and that's all I recommend to my patients. But then I hear back, I feel like drawing, or I just use spray. I can only use spray. I cannot make anything but touch my nose. So give us the tips for parents and for kids. And I love what you say about imitating. And I talk in my lectures a lot about genetic variation. We can have the same genetic setup, but different expression. So we need to do whatever we can to have a better expression for our kids. So it have to start with the parents. So it's really smart. So how to clean the nose for somebody who feel that way?
Right. Well, first of all, some kids have sensory issue, right? So you got to start with that. Some kids don't like touching their face, which is okay, right? So we want to use tissue. Some kids don't even know how to blow their noses, right? They inhale. So I'm in a process right now developing or patenting a something that the kids would visually see if they're inhaling or blowing through their noses. So in my book, in the back, it talks about, I just use a cotton bowl, or you could make it, if the kids don't know how to blow their noses first, even just a cereal, some easy way to do is just, are you blowing? So make that item moves. And it's really fun for children.
Yeah, it can be competition between child and adult.
Yes,
Who
so
can blow this cereal further?
Yes, so cereal, the little Cheerios, put it on the table. Are they moving it? Are they moving it fast or further out? So that's one. If they don't know how to do that, and again, make it fun, make it repetition. And then you try it, and then you use the tissue. Is the tissue moving? Like the blows, one nostril at a time. That is number one. Once you get that, you pass that, they're very, very comfortable of touching their noses. They'll be able to breathe and clear. Sometimes some patients don't like to be using the nasal spray. It's okay. Don't argue with your kids. So now you have to address environmental factor that plays to congestion, right? So humidity is number one, too, for me. That is a staple. Not only for me, it's for my children. I ask my parents to check the environment where your kids are sleeping. Mold is number one. If you have enough humidity in the air, so classic example, I live in an older home, and the rain has been so severe in California that I would turn on my dehumidifier, take moisture out. By the time I'm ready to go to bed, I turn it off and the bucket is almost full. So we know too much of that air in the air, it would be it would conducive for the mold to grow. Mm-hmm. That's not healthy for a child nor adult to facilitate nasal breathing while you're sleeping. Mm-hmm. I hope I answered your question, Dr. Sokolina.
Yes, definitely. I know you also certified coach for Myo Munchee.
Yes.
I'm wondering, we have to start, a lot of parents now, they're very educated. They learn a lot of things, not from pediatrician or from the moms, we don't pass that stage, but from social media. And very often I touch the point of pacifier. Myo Munchee is alternative to pacifier. How Myo Munchee help with airway development and overall health? And, why is Myo Munchee is good?
So first, what you said too, like parents, right? They search on more than half of my clients, parents, are the one that would say, we've done to our regular dentist, we've gone to our regular pediatrician, but I know there's something wrong. So they Google and they find me. All my children start with Myo Munchee. Either they purchase it through me or they purchase it through the website, right? Because not only it deals with jaw development, it promotes bone growth as you chew. It also addresses sensory issue for children. And guess what? Their oral hygiene is impeccable. So we have a protocol that you do it as an active chew and a passive chew. That's really important for the brain, the active and passive.
No, that's a great tool, Myo Munchee. But now I would like to ask you, you put your dog, Myo, in a book. Why is it important to have a dog or cat or other animal? I mean, dog. I would say dog most important because dog goes outside. Why is it important to have a dog?
Well, first of all, I love animals. I grew up with dogs, and dog is so important. It fosters one, empathy for kids. They learn responsibilities. The kids get to go outside, with oftentimes we don't do that anymore. They play video games. Being outside, they walk, they run, they feel the grass. That's great for cardiovascular health, great for breathing fresh air. And not only that, the dog, if you expose your children at a very early stage, you increase the biome, bacterial diversity in your home, and it stimulates immune health.
Yes.
Yes. So that's why the dog is so crucial, because we know the keen senses of smell on the dog. That's why the story of the boy and the dog, the boy discovering his nose. We forget about this.
Totally.
Right? We've normalized bad breathing. And children, we need to introduce at early age what Mother Nature gave us.
Right. I love how you specify in your book, you really bring importance to the nose breathing, because that's such an organ. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes. Well, it's cranial nerve number one, although, cranial, vagus nerve is the one that stimulates a good parasympathetic. When you're actually breathing through the nose, calm, you're telling the brain, it's okay, you're not in danger.
Right. And that's a powerful message as well. So I highly recommend, we're going to have all information about Nerissa, and her social media links, and about her book underneath this interview. And I hope you will recommend it to your family, friends, and buy it as a gift. And that's going to be life-changing. And hopefully we can stop that, disease of civilization called obstructive sleep apnea, and all other, seasonal allergies, sinus infections, all other wonderful adventures what you don't need in your life.
Well, we also know that nasal breathing promotes a lot of things, right? You have nitric oxide production.
Yeah.
Really good for your overall health, not only physical but mental, right? Mental health, it's really important. And for children, it promotes jaw development in the correct way. What grows the kids' airway health is normal function. So we need to restore the normal function that Mother Nature gave us, breathing through the nose.
Yes. Thank you very much, Nerissa. We absolutely admire your book and the knowledge, practical tips you share with us. And we're looking forward to hear more about your patents and other invention you do in this area. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is available at Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. The website is www.regensleep.net, and you will find people that I admire, and the leaders in our airway health, the pediatric dental sleep medicine, have actually recommended this book.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sokolina.